saw was the very, very last thing that the mind was latching onto was real. The only thing, and then I saw, the only thing that the mind had ever latched onto and identified as itself that was real was this presence, this consciousness, this beingness. Yeah. And mind was calling that me. Yeah. No wonder me felt real. No wonder me felt here. Right. But it wasn't the me that was experiencing the here-ness, the now-ness, the beingness, the consciousness, the awareness.
I think this is really my sticking point.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of people get stuck right here. A lot. I've talked so many people through this little bit. And then they go, oh. A lot of people get stuck here. Lots. I get all this, but damn, man, if I'm to be really honest, me still feels here. And I go, oh, that's great. Let's have a look at that and let's work with that. Let's look at that. Yeah. Share a bit of my story, what occurred here. See, for let's say, for an experience, for there to be an experience, or experiencing is more accurate, yeah, one needs to be conscious. If there's no consciousness, there's no experiencing. Yeah? Okay. So all you got to do is check in, like, you conscious of your own mind? Are you aware of it? Do you hear it? It chatters away. It says this, it says that. It's trying to work this out, and it's read all these books, and it's running to this teacher and that satsang and that's that. That's all going on in the mind, is it not?
Yeah, sure.
Right. Now, are you conscious of that?
Yes.
Good. Now, flip it. Is the mind conscious of this that's conscious of the mind?
I mean, the canonical answer would be no, but I have to feel that. Hold on one second.
We got plenty of time. Go there.
I would pose it slightly differently. I'd say that, like, the sound in my head, which I call me, is the sound. That sound and that thing obviously cannot hear or experience anything. But the thing that's generating it is the same, it's like a reflection. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do. But you put the cart before the horse. Come back.
Okay.
Go back to your own direct experience. Like you said, you didn't want to get intellectual, right?
Right, yeah.
All right. So go back to your own direct experience now. Are you conscious of mind?
Yes.
Good. Now flip it. See if mind is conscious of this that is conscious of the mind. Flip it.
Well, it isn't. It's only this which is conscious of mind.
Right. So mind has never experienced anything. Nada. It's not conscious.
No, but
Good.
I've experienced, but not the mind.
Yeah, but that's, you know.
Or there is some experience going on.
Yeah, but all the mind does is make up a story about the experiencing, does it not?
Correct.
Good. And then what it does, it takes the story to be the experience.
Yes.
It creates a story or a concept about the experiencing, makes up a
Right.
story about it, creates a concept about it. Yeah. Then mind believes the concept and takes the concept to be the experiencing.
Right.
See that. See that. Now, just now. What can a thought experience?
It is the experience, not it can't experience.
So you've got a whole backstory. You've got a whole life, a whole backstory. I was born in such and such a place. You know, my parents, my mother's name is blah, my father's name, I've got siblings or sisters, you know. The first school I went to was blah. And there's this huge backstory, all created by mind, not based on any experiencing. None of it. I'm not saying that experiencing hasn't been occurring your whole life. I'm not saying that hasn't been occurring. Clearly
Yes.
it has. Clearly it has. Yeah. But then the mind steps in and makes up a story about the experiencing. And then takes the story.
It's the memory of the experience, and it's a story spun around that.
So,
yeah.
So if mind can't experience, if mind is not conscious, what's the fucking story based on? Excuse my French. What's your whole story, your whole me backstory based on?
Something I made up.
You didn't make it up.
Way.
You didn't make it up.
Yeah, this is where, this is where I really have the trouble with it.
Where? Let's look at this bit. Where? What? Do you believe you're the thinker?
I think the thinking is a product of me in some way or the other. I don't know. There's some. If we just get for a second like into the more materialistic scientific way, there's some circuitry here inside that's triggering the memories, or something's going on. If I don't quite believe it in that way, but yeah, something like that, and then this thing is generating whatever I'm thinking about.
Yeah, but who's the thinker?
That's a good question.
You've done a lot of meditation, yeah?
Yes.
Surely to God, you've seen by now, thinking just happens.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yet, tucked in there with that is this idea or this belief or this assumption that me is thinking this.
Right.
Me is the thinker.
Right. That's the persistent illusion.
Good. Okay, so, man, this is really easy to test. To see if that's true. Really easy. You ready?
Stop thinking. I can't stop thinking. Yeah, can't.
Well, that blows the whole idea that me is the thinker. blows it straight out of the water. Now what are you going to do? Now what? See, we look, when people do a lot of meditation, it's relatively easy to see that thoughts just happen. They just happen. Don't know where they come from. We're not even encouraged to look at that. Where the hell are they coming from? And where do they go to? That's not something that usually comes up either. But it's a valid question. Yeah. Where are they coming from? Where do they go to? Yeah. So seeing that thoughts just happen, and that's basic 101 when you first really start to sit down and meditate. Watch the thoughts coming and going. Try not to get involved in them. If you do find yourself involved in, catch the fact that you're involved in and now let them go and just watch them come and go. Yeah. That part of it's relatively easy. Here's the hard part. Seeing the me thought. It sits closer. And I'll tell you why it sits closer. Because there's this idea that it's me that's witnessing the thoughts coming and going.
Right.
Which is attached to me is this awareness or consciousness that's conscious of the thoughts coming and going.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like it's like a glue.
Yeah, but it's so easy to see. Vid, this is so easy to see. All vid is this person, this seeming personal self, this idea of who you are is nothing but that, a pattern of thought. But the reason we find that difficult to accept is what I was saying in the beginning, which is, yeah, but me feels so real.
Right.
Now, what's the connection right there?
It is real, but it's not me.
Correct. Now, I'm going to be bold and say, it's not the me, it's you.
Right.
Which is nothing to do with the me, zero, nothing. Yeah. You're not in the mind. You're not in there. You are not in there. You are not the character in there. The world that gets lived in the mind is not yours. It's got nothing to do with you. Zero, nada, nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
But
I don't even know if it's a full but.
That's okay. What's going on there though? What's that? What is that? Come on. Let's look at it.
I don't know what's inside and what's outside anymore. Like, really.
What does that matter? What? Hold on. And you might as well have said to me, you know, I don't know which soccer team's going to win. Could be this one, or could be that. Like,
you do have a point. What I meant is, I don't know what I mean. Sorry, it's taking a little time to get it out.
No, this is good because I'm doing my best not to let you get into the intellect. And you're struggling a little bit, which is good.
Yeah.
The answer's not in the intellect, my friend. It's not in the mind. It's not. At some point, that must be put down. It must be put down. Where you're heading, you can't take the mind with you. I'm sorry. You can pick it up again later, but where
Right.
you're heading, you can't take it with you. Sorry about that. You can't.